Hello guys, in this video we are going to discuss the solution of the problem subarray range with given sum. So let us look at the problem statement. The problem statement says given an unsorted array of integer ARR and a target TAR, determine the number of subarrays whose elements sum up to the target value. So for instance, if this is the array which is given to us and the target is -10, then there exist 3 subarrays whose sum adds up to target. So that's about the problem statement, folks. Now let us discuss the solution of this problem. So the general idea behind solving this problem is to use dictionary. So we are going to use dictionary or map. So in this dictionary, key will be the sum of subarray and value will be how many such subarrays. And once we have this dictionary, then what we are going to do is we are going to compute current sum, and this current sum is sum of all elements till I. So in this case, I will be our iterating counter, and let's say I is equals to 1. Then the current sum will store the sum of elements 0 and 1. Similarly, if the value of I is equals to 4, then the current sum contains the sum of all the elements from 0 to 4. So once we have current sum and dictionary with us, our objective is to ensure that this current sum becomes equals to target. So our objective is to make current sum equals to target. So what we are going to do for this is we are going to compute a delta. So delta will be equals to current sum minus target, and we are going to check if delta exists in dictionary. If delta exists in dictionary, then that simply means it is possible for current sum to become equals to target, and accordingly we will increase our answer. So if delta exists in dictionary, then increase our count or answer accordingly. So that's the general idea behind solving this problem, folks. Now let us work with an example to complete our understanding. So let us say this is the array which is given to us, and we want to count the number of subarrays whose sum is equals to -10. So let us see how we can do that. So to begin with, we will have a map or a dictionary with us. Let us call that map or dictionary as MP. Now within this map or dictionary, we are going to initialize this map with 0 is equals to 1. What does this simply means is the number of subarrays whose sum is equals to 0 is 1. So essentially an empty array will not contain any element. In such case, the sum of the subarrays will be 0. And how many such subarrays exist? Well, the number of such subarray is 1. So that is why we are initializing our table with 0 and 1. Now let us iterate on the array. So let us say this is the array which we have, and this is the sum which we are computing. And this sum is essentially the sum of all the elements, which is equals to current sum. Now let us start iterating on the elements of the array. So we are at this position. At this position, the current sum will be equals to 10. And once we have computed our current sum, what we need to do is we need to calculate this delta. So delta will be equals to current sum minus target. So let us compute this delta. So this delta will be equals to current sum minus target. What is target? Well, target equals to -10. So this is essentially 10 plus 10, which is equals to 20. And then what we are going to do is we are going to check if there exists a subarray whose sum is 20. So far we don't have any subarray whose sum is 20, because of which we are not going to increase our answer. So the answer remains equals to 0. Now, as we can see, we have found a subarray whose sum is equals to 10. So that entry will come into our table. So there exists a subarray whose sum is equals to 10. Now, as we can see, there exists a subarray whose sum is equals to 10. So this entry will come into our dictionary. So let us make that entry. So there exists a subarray whose sum is equals to 10. And how many such subarrays? Well, so far there is just one such subarray, which is this element itself. Now let us proceed forward. So now our counter is at this position. The sum of the elements is equals to 12. Now again, we will compute delta. So delta will be equals to 12 minus target. So this becomes equals to 10, and this is equals to 20. Again, we are going to check whether this 22 exists in our table or not. Since 22 does not exist in our table, because of which our answer remains equals to 0. Again, we are seeing that there exists a subarray whose sum is equals to 12. So we are going to make an entry in our dictionary. So there exists a subarray whose sum is equal to 12. And how many such subarrays? So far the number of such subarray is just 1. Now let us proceed forward. Now we are at this position. So the sum of the elements will be equals to 10. Again we are going to compute delta. So delta will be equals to 10 plus 10, which is equals to 20. Now again we will look into our dictionary to see whether this 20 exists in our dictionary. So since 20 does not exist in our dictionary, because of which our answer remains equals to 0. And again over here we can see that there exists a subarray whose sum is equals to 10. So what we are going to do is we are going to make its entry in our table. So since there already exists a subarray whose sum is equals to 10, because of which we are going to update this and this becomes equals to 2. So this simply means so far we have encountered two subarrays whose sum is equals to 10. So this is what we are maintaining it over here. Now let us proceed forward. The next element is minus 20. So the sum of the elements will becomes equals to minus 10. Again we are going to compute delta. So delta will be equals to minus 10 and then target plus 10. So this will become equals to 0. And then we are going to check whether this delta exists in our DP table or not. Since this delta exists in our DP table, that simply means that there exists a way by which we will be able to reach to our target, because of which we are going to update our answer by 1. So our answer gets updated to 1. So let me repeat this point, folks. Over here the sum is minus 10, then we are computing delta. Delta is equals to 0. Since 0 exists in the DP table, because of which we have increased our answer by 1. Now let us proceed forward. Now again, so as we can see that there exists a subarray whose sum is minus 10. So we are going to make an entry over here. How many such subarrays? So the number of such subarray is just 1, because of which we are going to make this entry minus 10 colon 1. Now let us move forward. Next element is 10. So the sum of the elements will become equals to 0. Then let us compute our delta. So delta will be equals to 0 plus 10. So delta will becomes equals to 10. Then we are going to check whether this delta exists in our dictionary or not. So as we can see that this delta exists in our dictionary. So this is the entry. And since there exist two subarrays whose sum is equals to 10, because of which we are going to update our answer by 2. So we are going to update our answer by 2, which is this. So our answer will become equals to 3. And this is what we are going to return. So that's the discussion of solution, folks. Now let us discuss the pseudocode of this problem. So let us say we want to compute a subarray sum and a target is given to us. So what we are going to do is we are going to take a dictionary and we are going to initialize our sum and answer equals to 0. And also we are going to make MP of 0 is equals to 1. So this is the case where the array is empty. So the number of subarrays whose sum is equals to 0 will be given by MP of 0 equals to 1. Now what we are going to do is we are going to iterate on the elements of the array. So for element in array, and we are going to compute the current sum. So the current sum will be given by S plus element, and we are going to compute our delta. So let us compute delta. Delta will be equals to current sum minus target, and then we are going to check if this delta exists in our dictionary or not. So if delta in MP, so then if delta exists in our dictionary, then that simply means that there is a way by which we will be able to reach to our target, because of which our answer has to be increased appropriately. So answer will be increased by answer plus MP of delta, and then we are going to make this entry of S in our DP table. So MP of S will be equals to MP of S plus 1, and in this way we will be able to compute the number of subarrays whose sum is equals to target, and we are going to return our answer. So that's the pseudocode, folks. Now let us see how we have implemented this in Python and C++. So first let us look at the Python implementation. Over here we have an MP dictionary, then S and answer is equals to 0 and MP of 0 equals to 1. Then we are iterating on the elements of the array and we are computing the current sum. If delta exists in MP, so S minus target is delta. So if delta exists in MP, then answer will be increased by MP of S minus target, and then we are making an entry of S in our dictionary, and towards the end we are returning answer. So that's the Python implementation, folks. Now let us submit our solution. So our Python solution got accepted. Now let us look at the C++ implementation. So the C++ implementation is also the same, folks. We have an map over here, then MP of 0 equals to 1, and then we have answer and sum whose initial value is equals to 0. Then we are iterating on the elements of the array, and then we are computing current sum. If delta exists in the dictionary, then in such case answer will be increased by answer plus MP of sum minus target, and then the sum entry will come into our dictionary, and towards the end we are returning answer. So that's the C++ implementation, folks. Now let us submit our solution. So our C++ implementation also got accepted. That is all from this video, folks. In case if you have any question or comment regarding this video, please feel free to use the comment section and I'll try to address them. Thank you.